Okay, so the first thing I want us to notice is, like we talked about, really good high leg lift. Really like that. But what I want to pay attention to and bring notice to is just kind of notice our posture here when we're coming set of, you can get, kind of got this going here. And then as we lift that leg up, now we've gotten here. And then as we get ourselves back into a position ready to go, we're back into this original position. So we started at 1, got to 2, and now we're back to 3. Okay, so if I start at 1 and I get back to 3, is there any need to get to 2? Is there any need to get this one over here? And the answer is no. So why is your body going from this position into a position more like this? Well, if we watch during this leg lift and what our body's kind of doing, and we can see that head, all right, so if when we come set, let's think about this for a second. If when we come set, we didn't have all these different angles in our posture, and we were more in a position where we could say we were here, then when I lift my leg up, I wouldn't have to come back this way so much, which means I wouldn't have to go back this way so much to get back to my original position. AKA this lower body position, if we can just straighten this leg out a little bit, and then we just get our upper body to be just a little bit more above our heels instead of our upper body being above our toes. If our weight is over our toes, that means we're going to start to go in this direction. If our weight is more over our heels, we're going to stay more in line with those heels, which is in line with our target. So what we'll see then as we go further into our delivery is just the fact that we are throwing across our body slightly. There's nothing wrong with throwing across our body. It just makes some of the movements that we do after this position a little bit more difficult to do consistently. Doesn't mean they can't be done. Doesn't mean they can't even be done at a really high elite level. It just is a lot more difficult to do them consistently well. So if we then think, well, if I would like to get this stride, and if I take my back toe here and go straight, and this back heel here and go as straight as I can, and then we kind of see that, then this gets us kind of over here with the toe and the heel over here and the knee over here. Even if the toe was here and the heel was right behind it, we would be able to have this kneecap, instead of it facing this way, the kneecap would be facing the target more. And that's ultimately what we're looking for. Even if we stride across our body, we're trying to get that kneecap turned towards that target as best and as much as we can. Everything up here at foot strike, everything up here when this foot strikes the ground, fantastic. Exactly what we're looking for, really good positions. This backside foot and backside leg is doing exactly the movements we want them to do. The only thing is we can see that our belt buckle and our hips really haven't been able to rotate through very much, primarily because of this front knee making this leg block this from coming through. This right here is the gate, and we can't go anywhere because the gate is not opened. And we'll notice as we get into it, now this gate has opened up a lot more, which is allowing that back hip now to be able to come through. We can see that kneecap a lot better here now versus where it was to where it is now. So if we could just get that front kneecap to rotate just a little bit more than it has, and it doesn't even need to be a lot more, because you do have a nice, strong front side that you throw over, and we have real good yeah. We just need to set ourselves up to be able to do all these things that you do well and the positions that you find yourself in that are really good and really strong. We just need to tweak this a little bit, tweak this position a little bit, so that way the strength here and the strength here can be consistently there. But we got a lot of good stuff here, and the drills that the boys were doing last night during your session will be the ones that will help you with this aspect as well. So the video that got sent to you with the team drills, take a look at that, and we'll do those next week with you. Before and after, let's just get here to start. We can see that our upper bodies are in very similar positions of one another. However, we can see big difference when the foot first makes contact versus when the foot first makes contact. We can also see how much more this back foot has been able to turn over at this same point in time here of first connection, which brings this back hip all the way through, that belt buckle nice and exposed, versus back foot not turned over hardly at all. Can't see the back hip. Belt buckle is trying to come through, but it really can't. When do we get some of that better stuff? Boom. Now we got that belt buckle. Now the back hip has come through. Now that back foot has turned over, but we can see just how much of that upper body has already rotated and opened up versus where we're at here at now same lower body positions or very similar positions. So when we have a lower body and an upper body that are in the position that we are in here, we don't have as much rotation with the upper half left before the ball's out to power our throw with. But over here, we have full upper body shoulder rotation to use to power our throw. So if we had the radar gun out, I would be very willing to bet a whole lot of money that if we called this one delivery 1 and this one over here is delivery 2 is definitely harder. Definitely harder. How much harder? Could be 1 mile an hour. It could be 3 miles an hour. Right? No real way of knowing, obviously, besides putting a radar gun up there. But the amount of power that we're going to be able to create this way and this upper lower half separation position, this is about as textbook ideal as it gets. So this would be good for your teammates to see just what we're working with here. And then if we play that then through post foot strike, we'll be able to just tell how much more energy is coming with this throw over here, even by how we're finishing. Look how much longer your body needs to finish through rotation with that amount of power. So we said we got all this amount of power in the upper half ready to come through now versus not as much power ready to come through. So if not a lot of power comes through over here on this delivery 1, we're not going to have to finish things as much before all that energy is out of our body. Versus over here, we're having to keep on rotating. Are we peeling out? No, not at all. Because we're rotating to our target, to our target, to our target. We've just created more energy than we ever have before. So it's going to take longer to slow down that rotational energy through rotational deceleration or rotational slowing down. Over here on delivery 1, your car is driving 5 miles an hour. Delivery 2 over here, your car is driving 50 miles an hour. So a car that's driving 5 miles an hour is going to be able to come to a stop, boom, a lot quicker than the car driving 50 will come to a stop, boom. So real good job on making that adjustment with that front foot and landing nice and flush with the mound. So we just got to, like we said, the only way we can really work on that, unfortunately, is we need to be on a slope, right? We can't just kind of do those hops around the house because that's just going to reinforce a flat foot when we need to have that slight toe angling downward with our foot. So whenever you see a mound, go over there and hop on it. The one thing I want to bring attention to with the side view is once, and obviously we have to ignore this because we're going to say that we're going to be more nice and flush like that going forward, is this knee that we have here in this slight bend. As we rotate these shoulders forward to throw, we want to be thinking about this front knee locking out or straightening up. So that way it becomes here. This knee goes back. That way we have a firm front side to throw through and around. We want to think that this front leg becomes a flagpole. Right now, it's not a flagpole. We need to turn it into a flagpole by making it straight. And we'll see as we go to throw, that knee just kind of stays bent the whole time. So all this power that we're sending from the back leg into the front leg by this movement right here, boom, we need now to send up to the upper body. And the only way we can send it up to the upper body is if this knee locks out, and that will then shoot it up. So just like we saw on the side-by-side comparison of this better foot in the ground is going to create us a lot more power, us now having this knee lock out is going to create us so much power as well. And if I just gave you a real quick example. Okay, and we just kind of look at Hunter Green, most 100-mile-an-hour fastballs out of a starter last year, hit lock it out. See that knee? Front knee's getting locked out. Boom. Boom. Locking out as he's rotating the throw. As he's rotating the throw. As he's rotating the throw. Send that power and energy up. So then we can send it out. Boom. 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 And if I keep those lines there, I could probably almost get another guy to fit that same mold. Get in the slower mode. Boom. Yep. So here, hit. We got to lock it out. Lock it out. Lock it out to send power up, to send the throw out. Right? Boom. It's a violent movement. Violent, violent, violent. Boom. Violent movement. Another guy will fit the same mold as well. And also another guy that's, see the violence in that front leg. Another guy that's also in the hundreds as a starter. We'll see once that foot hits. Boom. We got to lock the knee out, send the power up so then we can throw the ball out. Boom. 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 Violence in it. So much violence, so much power, it's almost hyperextending. Another guy that does this a lot is Justin Verlander. He gets a lot of nasty hyperextension on that knee coming through. But that's what it takes to get that power out. That's how much energy is going into that front leg. You need to take it out of the front leg and send it on up so we can shoot it on out. But all in all, dude, a lot of good things to work off of here, especially with seeing how much progress we made just in our 45-minute session, getting that front foot to get in a better position. Now we just got to make this turn into a flagpole by locking it out or stiffening it up. Once we do that, we're adding even more power. And then from there, let's make stuff spin. Let's make stuff move. And let's learn how to pitch.